Black pepper, something so ordinary, it's easy to forget just how extraordinary it really is. You probably use it every day, a twist of the grinder, a sprinkle on your eggs, and that's it. But have you ever stopped to wonder, where does black pepper actually come from? How does this little black ball go from plant to plate? Well, buckle up, because today we're going on a journey through spice farms, sun-drenched fields and steamy drying rooms to uncover how black pepper is really made right here on History of Simple Things. To start, let's go to where black pepper is born. The tropical farms of India, Vietnam, Indonesia, and a few other equatorial countries. These places have the perfect climate, hot, humid, and rainy. Pepper vines thrive in this environment. Black pepper comes from the Piper nigrum plant, a climbing vine that grows up wooden poles or trees. It looks a bit like a grapevine, but instead of grapes, it produces long clusters of tiny green berries. Yes, that's right. Black pepper starts out as a green berry. The vines take about 3 to 4 years to mature enough to bear fruit. Once they're producing, the peppercorns grow in long, spiky clusters. They're harvested when the berries are still green, but just starting to ripen. Timing is everything here. Too early and the flavor won't develop. Too late, and you don't get that classic black pepper bite. Harvesting is usually done by hand. Farmers climb ladders or use long poles to pluck the pepper spikes off the vines. It's careful, repetitive work, but it has to be done right to get the best pepper. Once the berries are harvested, they're separated from the stalks. This can be done by hand or by gently threshing the spikes. At this point, the peppercorns are still soft and green. But here's where the magic starts to happen. To make black pepper, the fresh green berries are briefly cooked in hot water. This step isn't to cook them per se. It's mainly to clean them and to start the enzymatic reaction that will darken their skin. It also helps soften the outer layer, which makes drying easier. Next, the peppercorns are spread out to dry in the sun, sometimes on mats, concrete slabs, or large tarps. This drying process can take several days depending on the weather. As they dry, the outer skin shrivels and darkens. The heat and enzymes begin to break down the flesh, just slightly, concentrating the flavor and aroma. That's how those green berries slowly transform into the wrinkly black spheres we recognize as peppercorns. The sun-drying process is, well, absolutely critical. It reduces the moisture content from about 70% down to around 10%, which makes the peppercorns shelf-stable and, gives them their long-lasting punch. Once dried, the peppercorns are sorted by size and quality. Higher-grade peppercorns are larger, darker, and more uniform. These are the ones that usually get sold whole or end up in premium grinders. Lower grades might be used for pre-ground pepper, or even processed into pepper oil, or only as reason ingredients that show up in processed foods, snacks, and even perfumes. You'd be surprised how much of your everyday food has pepper extract in it. From here, the peppercorns are bagged up and either sold locally or exported around the world. Vietnam, for example, is one of the largest exporters of black pepper globally. Tons and tons of pepper leave their ports each year, heading for supermarkets, spice companies, and restaurants everywhere. Some pepper is sold whole, some is ground. And in recent years, gourmet pepper varieties like Tell Cherry or Malabar have gained popularity for their bolder flavors and bigger berries. Back in your kitchen, what you probably have is whole black peppercorns in a grinder, or maybe a jar of pre-ground pepper. Whole peppercorns keep their flavor much longer. That punchy, earthy aroma you get when you twist the grinder, that's the volatile oils being released from the crushed outer shell. But ground pepper, once it's ground, it starts to lose its potency pretty quickly. That's why, honestly, freshly ground pepper almost always tastes better. It's the difference between a flat note and a bold, peppery kick that really wakes up your food. Now that you know how it's made, here are a few fun facts about black pepper. It's often called the king of spices. In ancient times, it was so valuable it was actually used as currency. The Romans used it in almost every dish, even some desserts. During the Middle Ages, black pepper was locked up in vaults like gold. The global spice trade was largely driven by pepper, and it even helped spark the age of exploration. That's right, Columbus didn't just sail the ocean blue for gold. He was also looking for spices like black pepper. Oh, and if you're wondering, yes, black, green and white pepper all come from the same plant. The difference lies in how they're processed. Green peppercorns are picked young and either freeze-dried or preserved in brine. Black pepper is picked just before full ripeness and sun-dried. White pepper is fully ripened, then soaked to remove the outer skin, leaving just the inner seed. Each one has a different flavor profile. Black is bold and spicy. Green is fresher and more herbal. White, it's got a mustier, earthier punch. So the next time you twist that grinder, consider the path those tiny black peppercorns have taken. Grown on vines in tropical climates, carefully harvested by hand and dried under the sun, each one is passed through a detailed process shaped by knowledge passed down through generations. From remote farms to global spice markets, these peppercorns travel a long way to bring flavor to your food. It may seem like just a simple seasoning, but black pepper holds a powerful legacy. Once traded as a precious commodity, it played a major role in shaping trade routes and global exploration. With every sprinkle, you're tasting a spice that changed history. All that from a little green berry. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.